Okay. And so I'm also seeing so that's the first part. The other part about growth and expansion, you are in a period of tremendous growth. Okay. This is like a major, major growth spurt. So like if you were physically a person, I would say, you're going through your teens where you are outgrowing your environment. You're outgrowing your home. You're outgrowing your friends. You're outgrowing the physical environment that you're in. And you're contemplating the next journey. Okay. So this is the card of the Empress, and this is somebody who's made it. Okay. The Empress is somebody who takes care of her or himself. They're extremely, the Empress energy, I always think of it as Virgo. It's a very dignified type of energy. It's a very like, I own this. I don't need anybody else to know that I own it. And it comes with a lot of power. It comes with a lot of dignity. It comes with a lot of respect. Okay. So you command a lot of respect from other people. They look at you and they admire you. And this is the energy of someone who's very, very nurturing. But as you can see, the two kids, right? They're kind of behind her. She's nurturing. She's protective. She's lovingly detached. She trusts that she has taught these children well. When she turns her back, she knows that they're not going to abuse the animals. She knows that she's raised them right, where they're going to be able to take care of the things in their environment and to kind of like take on her own image and just be like her. Okay. So I feel like everything that you have touched, everything that you have tried to take care of, it has really, grown, and it has really taken off on its own. Okay. Some of you are meticulous mothers. You care a lot about, the physical, emotional, spiritual well-being of your children. Some of you take tremendous care of your household, your plants, your pets, and you do a really, really good job. And I feel like it shows. And I feel like people look at you and they're just like, she's on, the Empress is on her cushions, and, she looks so dignified. She looks so like clean and well kempt, and they're just looking at you like, how do you manage? How do you do all of this without ruffling your hair, without, getting your dress dirty, without breaking a sweat? So they're looking at you in awe and admiration. And the thing is, people only see the end result. And I honestly believe that from your perspective, you don't shy away from hard work. You know when to roll up your sleeves and get dirty, right? Other people shy away from hard work. And so they look at everything that you have achieved and they're just like, wow, this Virgo person does it with such ease. Okay. It's not ease. It requires a lot of planning, a lot of calculation, a lot of not overshooting, a lot of not underestimating, and a lot of just, being even minded and even handed to be able to, pull things off the way that you do. And I feel like people look at you in awe and admiration, and you are aware of that too. You're aware of finally your skills and your capabilities. And while you're in this situation, in this environment, it feels really comfortable. It feels really cushy, but you are already contemplating the next big step. I'm drawn to this road behind this fence here. There's a doorway that is open for you, and there's a new path for you to take. It's an uphill path. So we know it's not going to be, a walk in the park. It's not going to be a bed of roses. Okay. It's going to require a little bit more climbing, and you are definitely up for the challenge. Some of you are in a situation where you're very, very comfortable. And so you have worked really hard to get here. You have accumulated a lot of good karma points in order to be here. And so you're thinking, well, maybe I can stay here for another year. Maybe I can stay here for another 2 years before I embark on this new path. Okay. Some of you might have been waiting here, waiting for that gate to open, waiting for that new path to show itself before you make a move. And now that it's showing itself, I feel like it's time for you to make a move, because once again, you are that cactus that's outgrown the pot. You're no longer supposed to be here. You're supposed to be on your way, moving towards something else. And the path is going to give you a much better view, a much better vantage point. It's going to utilize all of your skills and resources. And it's going to, I almost feel like, in a video game, this is like leveling up. Okay. Going on to the next level, fighting the next monster, upgrading, learning new skills. Okay, so that's what I'm sensing here. And throughout this entire journey, whatever you had to do in order to get here, I feel like you did it in such an admirable, and this is why I absolutely love Virgos. They do what's right. No matter what, it's almost like they always have this internal compass, and it always points them in the right direction. Like, like morally, ethically, it always points them in the right direction. And so what I'm seeing here is a situation where, you know, this is a card about generosity, giving back to people, taking care of people. You've done a lot of good deeds in your lifetime. Okay. And I feel like good deeds is not just about volunteering on the weekend. Good deeds is scattered throughout the day. Every opportunity, every waking moment that we are awake, every moment that we are actively doing something, we can choose to do good deeds. Okay. For example, driving to work, letting somebody, cut in ahead of you because they're late for work, because we're all stuck in a traffic jam, because we're all trying to get to our destination, understanding that that person did not mean to cut us off. They're just trying to get to work, and not throwing a fit, and kindly stopping your car and letting the other person cut ahead of you. Okay. A good deed is like, looking at putting your lunch in the fridge when you get to work, and seeing like some containers that have been spilled over, or seeing, some like spoiled objects in the fridge, and opting to take a few seconds to throw that out, because, it's a communal fridge. We all share this space, and we should try our best to keep it clean. And so I feel like you take this spirit of service to everything that you do, to your daily actions, to every single event, to every single moment of your life, okay? Doing the right thing, okay? Even if it takes a few seconds of your time, even if it just, even if it requires you going out of your way, as long as you feel like, well, I have the time, so I can do this because the other person seems stressed out. And so I'm doing this so that it can, alleviate a little bit of stress in their life. That's how Virgo people think. And I feel like it's pretty amazing. I have never encountered other signs that, really step up to the plate every moment of every day the way that Virgos have. And so I feel like all of these little, acts of kindness, acts of human obligation, I just feel like, they have not gone unnoticed on a spiritual level. They have not gone unnoticed by all the people around you. And that's why they're looking at you in awe and admiration. And they're just like, how do things come so easily for you? And, it doesn't come easily. It's just we have to train our mind to look at everything that we do and serve others and live our lives with a lot more purpose and meaning, and live our lives based on this spirit of service to other people, okay, to our environment, to other people. And so what I'm seeing here is I see a situation where you are definitely in your A game, financially, professionally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You're at your A game. And you're ready. Life has opened up a new door for you, because you're ready to tackle the next big thing. Okay. It's almost like, spiritually, you're being led for something bigger and brighter, and something that is a little bit more challenging. And you understand that it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So you have spent, the last 6 months preparing yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually to embark on this next phase in your life. And so I see so much stability and abundance that's coming into the picture. So the first 4 cards just scream out, spirit of service, okay? Good deeds coming back, a lot of financial stability, a lot of money coming into the picture, a lot of Generosity. This is a card, the King of Pentacles is somebody who sees the proper value in other things, in other people as well. So this is somebody who might be in your life, who is really in sheer admiration of you. And they're going to, I'm seeing a lot of gratitude. So, I usually think of this as somebody's ringing the bell, somebody's making their presence known, somebody's coming for a visit, somebody is like really expressing, you know, how they feel about you. And I feel like they are like this. They're very financially stable. They might own property. They might own homes. They're just, you know, somebody that knows how to generate money. They start from nothing, starting from the ground up, and they have built a really prosperous and successful future for themselves. And they didn't do it by, you know, trampling over other people. They didn't do it from stealing or cheating other people. They did it from kindness. They did it from gratitude. They did it from the space where they're being of service to other people. And as a result of being service, I feel like it's good karma coming back home to roost, because you're in a very financially abundant space and you are in a position where you are like admired by somebody who sees all of these virtues in you, and they really, really admire you. Okay. I feel for many of you, this might be a love interest. Okay. This is somebody that is, you're coming across here as the Empress, and they are the King. So you make them almost want to be a better person. The perfect match for the Empress is the Emperor, right? And the kings are really financially abundant. They're prosperous. They rule like a kingdom. However, the emperor rules over all the kings. And so what I feel is this person wants to be like you. They want to emulate you. You make them want to be a better person. You make them want to strive for more. And they feel like they're catching up to you. They're trying to be a good match to you. So they're being very, very purposeful with the things that they do in life as well. Mainly because they're following in your footsteps, and they're trying to be the best person that they can be so that they can be a really, really good fit for you. This is pretty much the Emperor in the making. They're still on their way, and I feel like there's like promises as well as, you know, admiration and adoration. And they're telling you like, one day I will be, you know, your equal match. Okay. One day I will, you know, be right beside you, and I will be somebody who is worthy of you. And so I feel like this is indicating to me a really, really deep love where two people are in a relationship, and they really want to grow together. They want to become better for one another. And spiritually, this is a very, very strong, I almost feel like a soulmate connection where the two of you could achieve a lot more in society, because by virtue of being together. It's like Virgos are really shy. Okay, like you guys are really shy. You guys also like, I almost feel like a lot of you might have self-esteem issues. Okay, and that's because it's not stemming from trauma or anything like that. I'm not seeing that in here, but it's because you're perfectionistic and you're really, really hard on yourself. You're naturally very, very hard on yourself. And so you're not like a Sagittarius, where Sagittarius is like, let's jump in it first and then ask questions later. Let's just figure out how much we can do before we read the instructions, right? You guys are very meticulous. You look over the instructions before you start assembling things. And so where I'm going with this is that I feel like you have a lot of like negative self-talk behind the scenes, behind closed door, in your head. You don't talk about this to other people, but you have a lot of negative self-talk holding you back. And I feel like the person that you're with, or the person that, you know, you're interested in, or whoever it is that's in your midst that is a significant other, they're very kind. They kind of brush away the negative self-talk. They build up your self-esteem. They tell you, you know, not in a way where it's mushy and awkward and you know, like the people that love us, of course, they're going to tell us nice things about us. This person doesn't do that. This person like will only tell you what they believe in. Okay, so they're not going to tell you lies. So I feel like they give you really good constructive feedback so that you can, you know, improve. And I also feel like because of their support because of their generosity, because of the reciprocity between the two of you, you both have really built each other up when it comes to your self-esteem. Okay, whatever has really shaken you, whatever has really chipped away at your self-esteem through the process of working, growing up, dealing with family, dealing with people, dealing with, people that you had to cut out of your life. If your self-esteem has been corroded, this is somebody that really helps build it back up. And then likewise, you're dealing with someone who's very self-made, okay? They didn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth. They didn't grow up with a trust fund. They didn't grow up with like rich parents. They build everything from their own two hands. I really admire the King of Pentacles, mainly because, if you look at the background, there's a farmer right there, okay? He used to be that farmer. He used to have to, hustle. He used to have to, get his hands dirty, harvest the crop, make sure his family can eat. Save up for a rainy day, nickel and dime himself, forego all the pleasures in life in order to have a lot of financial abundance. This is not somebody who was born this way. They've worked really, really hard to get where they are. So I feel like this is a situation where there is a very, very dignified love relationship here. It is really, it's a really good soul connection. It is a very supportive type of a relationship. It's a situation where two people, I feel like, might have started from nothing and achieved everything by sheer hard work and dedication. And they admire those things about one another. Okay, so it's really beautiful. It's making me a little teary-eyed. So I'm really happy to see this for you, Virgos. So now there's a new gate that is opening for you. Literally a new gate. And I'm saying the new gate, and you know how like gates that have been really old and rusted, they make a lot of noise when you open them, right? When you move them, when the wind moves them, when somebody physically goes in there and jiggle the key in there and try to pry it open and moves it, it makes a lot of noise. I feel like there's a situation here where there's a lot of noise and clamor. And I feel like if you're looking for a sign, like tell me which way I need to go towards the noise. Okay. Because I feel like something is making itself very, very evident to you. And it's telling you, this is the one. It could be like a signal that somebody's coming in. This is the one. It could be, this is the job that's coming in. This is the new path that you're supposed to take. And I feel like you might have been waiting for it to open. And I feel like in the month of October, it is going to be opening, like breaking open for you. So that's what I'm sensing here. Okay. Let me talk about the other cards. So as we progress with the image, okay, so this is sort of like the cactus getting really big, and then it's got a flower blooming on its head. It's really cute. So it's getting bigger and bigger, and the pot is too small. So you're in a situation where you have outgrown the environment and you need to move on. You need to move on to a new phase. And what I'm seeing here is there have been a lot of offers on the table for you. And I feel like you're thinking about, I want something a little bit more exotic. I've spent a lot of my time, a lot of the past few years, majority of my adulthood, being the responsible one, doing something that's expected of me, making the safe decisions, or sticking with the safe choices. And I'm in a position where I am looking for something brand new. I'm looking for a challenge. I'm looking for something that has not been done yet. Okay. So, I feel like for many of you, you guys are very, very good at looking at existing processes, looking at existing ways of doing or existing things and streamlining it and improving it and making it more efficient. But now you're in a phase where you're trying to create something brand new, something that has never been done before. And so you're looking at all of these offers and you're just like, these are mundane. These are things that anybody, like a trained monkey, could do if you train it well. Okay. I'm looking for something a little bit more challenging, a little bit more like a little bit different from everything that I'm used to. So some of you, for example, in your resume, you might have had like 4 jobs where you were, for example, office administrator, and then you become a lead administrator, then you become a supervisor, then you become a manager, but it's all office administration. And you're just like, I want something new. I want a change of, like a brand new change of scenery. I want something that has not been created yet. I want a position that has not been there. And I want to do something that is outside of the ordinary, outside of these. I want to break away from my resume. I don't want my resume or my past work experiences or my past history to pigeonhole me into getting the same types of position. So you're waiting for that new change. And in the meantime, while you're waiting, what you are doing is you're in charge and leading a lot of people. Okay. This is somebody who's in a leadership position, and people trust them. All those wagons, all those families are, they're following this man because he's got vision and he's got a bird's eye view, and they know that, you know, he's going to take them to safety. He's very humble and modest. He's not on a horse. He's like walking side by side these wagons, and he just happened to be elected the leader because people trust him. And so I feel like you're on the major, like, it's like the major, I cannot think right now. I apologize. You're on this, it's like a cliff, and you're scouting new territory. You're looking at new things. And I feel like, but in the meantime, other people still hold you in high regard and they respect you, and you're seen as a leader in your own right. Okay. You might not have the title that are associated with it, but I feel like people have a great deal of respect for you. You're in a position where you're training. You're showing other people how to do things the proper way. You're showing people how not to cut corners and how to do things the most efficient way. So this is about efficiency, sharing best practices, showing people how to do things, and, you know, giving like a lot of feedback. Okay. So you're in this position where you're leading others, you're training others. And I feel like what's still in the back of your mind is, I need something brand new. I need a change of scenery. I need to travel. I need to see the world. I need to be able to get out there and assess the needs of other people, and to be in an environment where, for some reason, I'm seeing that you're dealing with a lot of foreigners or a lot of people from different cultural background, from different walks of life for this month. And I feel like you're dealing with them mainly because these people, you have already established the rapport. These people are a lot more like you. Okay. You're walking alongside them. You've already established that rapport. There's a new group of people who are very, very skeptical. Okay. They've come from, I'm hearing war torn. I'm hearing, scarcity, like scarcity in an environment where things were not lush and plentiful and like a breadbasket. This is a desert environment. So these people came from hardship. These people have a sense of like kinship and clansmen, where they are very, very, very hesitant about interacting with outsiders. So you have a closed off group of people that you're trying to, that you're trying to, I almost want to say, like, bring into the fold. But in order to bring them into the fold, to get them to trust you, you kind of have to infiltrate. You kind of have to find a way to get into that community and find a way to get them to trust you. And so what I'm seeing here is you're in some type of a project, some type of an environment, possibly even a dating situation, where you're dealing with someone who's very, very, very exotic, somebody who's very different from you, and somebody who might be culturally, linguistically, even life experiences might be very different from you, and you have to find a way to cross that cultural barrier, or to create that bridge so that you can, you know, adequately gain their trust. So there's a situation here where temporarily it's like a new change of scenery. It's a challenge, and it's something, it's like the next thing for you to work on. And then I also feel as well, it's going to require a lot of intuition. Okay. Like, trusting your intuition, waving away that negative self-talk, knowing that you are capable, knowing that you have achieved a lot in a very, very short period of time. And so you need to wave that away, and you need to somehow, you know, this is that bridge, okay, from two very different areas in life. There's like a bridge that allows two different areas to connect, okay? So I feel like you're going to be the one to build that bridge and to maintain that bridge. And I feel like the bridge stands for that connection, okay? So it's like the connection between two worlds, the connection between the practicality and the intuition, and the connection between, you know, people who are very, very unnerved, who might not be immediately open and trusting and upfront, and it takes a really, really long time to gain their trust. And I feel like you have to be kind of like it's going to take some time. I see a situation here where it's going to take a really, really long time for you to be able to string this, you know, this bridge across the two towers, to be able to create and maintain that constant communication and that trust and that sense of camaraderie and that sense of mutual trust. And so what I'm seeing here is a situation where you're definitely dealing with like a new ball game. Okay. So you're like dealing with people from a different station, and it's different from what you're used to. It is a lot harder. There are some challenges when it comes to trust. There are also some challenges when it comes to somebody being very, very territorial, and like if you're different, you're seen as the odd man out. If you're different, you're seen as the outsider, and we don't trust outsider. I see a situation like that, and so you're going to have to be a little bit more patient when you're dealing with this, and you're going to have to kind of like literally slip yourself in their shoes and figure out where they have come from, okay? And I feel like there's a whatever they worship, whatever they believe in, even if you don't believe it, you kind of have to slip into their shoes and to understand where they're coming from and why they are behaving in that way. And I feel like it's going to create that bridge to help you connect to those people or that group or you know, that community of people. All right. So Virgos, you have some amazing things coming into the picture. The beginning of the month is going to be really phenomenally stable and good. And just, you know, I see you being very happy. The latter part of the month, at the end of the month of October, I think October 31st on Halloween, we are shifting into Mercury retrograde. And so I see a little bit of issues when it comes to people being upfront and honest with their communication. And I feel like they're being very indirect with you. Okay, so that's the only danger that I'm seeing here with the High Priestess, which is reading between the lines. The Moon, confusion. And then I see group work. So I feel like there might be some confusing energies regarding communication, regarding expectation, regarding meeting points, regarding coordination and things like that. That might, there might be some wrenches in the works, and it might be disruptive towards the end of the month.